So in this video, I'm going to show you how to remove this shower and replace it with a new shower. So I'll start by removing the old shower. Remove all the screws that connect header to wall jamb, corner post, strike post. So once you remove them, go ahead pop the header off. It should come right off. The wall jamb pieces would be silicone to the tile. So what you want to do, get your utility knife and kind of score it. Just score that silicone. Do it on the bottom too. Outside, yep, it's all silicone, so just score that too. So once the door is removed, you should be able to get access to the screws that screw this wall jamb. Let's see, there's a screw right there. Should be 3 screws on the wall. Go ahead and unscrew. And gently peel the wall jamb off the tile wall. So typically in frame showers, the glass that sits inside a frame, like side panel and return panel, there's rubber gasket that holds it on both sides. So get yourself a pry bar, a little putty knife, and kind of pry this gasket out. And you can peel it right out. So glass should be free now. And just carefully lift it out of the frame. And repeat the process on this side. Alright, same thing on the wall. Find the screws. Remove it. Pull the rail off. Now get yourself a flat blade and you'll have to clean all this old caulking off the wall. Just kind of gently scrape it and it comes right off. So just repeat this process all the way around. Make sure the surface is nice and clean prior to installation of a new shower. So now to your metal. Top and bottom usually is going to be thicker metal. So this is the top and these are little brackets that go inside the header. And you can see all the holes are already pre-drilled, so you can just easily connect it together and run your screws in. Hold the corner together and run your screws in. So this is going to be your top header. Now this piece right here, this is going to be a bottom curb, and the easiest way to tell is it usually has a whip hole pre-drilled. So what those are, if the water gets inside this channel, it's going to drain out through this weep hole to the inside of the tub or shower. Go ahead and measure the bottom curb, corner to corner, wall to wall. Mark your bottom curb. Cut it using a chop saw. If you don't have a chop saw, you can use a hand hacksaw, but this is a little bit faster, easier. After you cut your bottom curb, go ahead and seal it. Just run your silicone bead right in the middle of it, nice and fat. And go ahead and set it on top of the shower pan. Make sure these weep holes are facing inward. So put the wall jamb against the wall. If you remove the old shower prior, make sure you try to put this wall jamb over the existing holes so you don't see them. Level it and mark your holes. So after you mark your holes, go ahead and drill them. Plastic anchors that came with the kit. Go ahead and insert them in the hole you just drilled. Get your silicone and fill your old holes and put a little bit of silicone on your new holes that you just drilled. So inside the bottom channel, go ahead and fill this corner up with sealant. Just kind of goop it up. And go ahead and put your wall jamb in. Get your wall jamb that was pre-cut for this side. Insert it in your bottom channel. Mark the top. Take this distance, subtract it from the bottom, and cut the bottom off. So same thing on this side. Put your wall jamb inside the bottom curb. Level it. Mark your holes. Drill your holes. Put the anchors in. Wipe the surface clean. Fill this corner of the curb with caulking. Fill the old holes, new holes. Screw it in. Wipe any squeeze out of silicone before it dries up. Go ahead and find a piece that goes on the wall jamb. And usually they come long, so you have to cut it to fit on this wall. So measure distance from the bottom of the curb to the top of the buttress and subtract it from this wall jamb, and you cut it off so it fits on the wall at the same height as the rest of the shower. So go ahead and put it against the wall, level it up, mark the holes, and go ahead and drill them. Go ahead and wipe the wall clean. Once again, fill your old holes with silicone, new ones too. And go ahead and screw it to the wall. Now, get the bottom track. See, it has a whip hole already pre-drilled in it, so it goes on the bottom like so. This one I cut to the size. Usually all these pieces come a little long, so you just measure this distance and you cut them to the size that you need. And they fit together like so. So take the bottom track and glue the bottom too. Just run a bead right in the middle. Put it down. Do the same on this little piece right here. So this corner right here, go ahead and fill it up with silicone, like put a lot in it. So this particular shower comes with this rubber blocks, and it kind of holds these two pieces together. So you just kind of insert it inside the wall jamb and the bottom track. Push it all the way down. So it kind of holds it together, and also serves the purpose of the block where the glass rests on top of it. So same thing on this little corner. Just line it up. Fill it with silicone, just the corner. Put this rubber block inside here too. Go ahead and set this glass panel. Make sure the smooth surface faces inside the shower, inward, and the rough faces out. Now go ahead and set this piece of glass. Also make sure the smooth surface faces inward, rough faces outside. Make sure you put these rubber blocks on top too, so the glass would rest on these. So for your header piece, it comes a little long, so you have to measure and cut the excess. And the way to do that is get your level, put it on the corner like so, level it, measure the distance from here to the wall, and flip it on this side. Same thing, from the level to the wall. And then take those measurements, mark it on the header piece, and cut it. So now you cut your header, go ahead and put it on top. Now get this piece, that's going to go on the strike side. And put it in, like so. So with this shower, in particular, there are two pieces like that. They go on top and bottom to cover that gap. So you want to cut them the same width as your door, and they kind of just snap in. Just push down on it and it snaps in, so do the same on top. So now you have to secure the header to all those wall jambs. You have to drill a hole through the header into the wall jamb. Do the same on the door hinge side. Drill a hole through the header into the wall jamb, put a screw in on the strike side. So same thing, drill a hole, put a screw in. This way it's secured, this piece of metal secured to the header. And you have to do the same thing on the bottom. You have to run the screw through the bottom curve into this vertical piece of metal. So now it's all secured, can't move. This is a glass, what's called glass-to-glass corner. You want to position your glass pretty much tied to each other, and you want to use a tape, just masking tape, and kind of, so it keeps the corner together while silicone dries on the inside. This way it looks nice and even all the way down. Now we're gonna put all this vinyl in. So it just gets pushed in inside this track on both sides. So it goes in like this. You just kind of push it in. You know, I have this roller tool. It makes it easier. Just kind of roll it in. Just like that. Cut any excess off. Make sure it's pushed in all the way in so it looks nice and even all the way across. And you want to do the same thing on the inside. Just go ahead and push it in. This is where it gets tight, and this is where you're gonna need to use a tool. So I use this tool. If you don't have a tool like this, I would get like a little wood block and kind of pound the vinyl in, or the rubber gasket in, like so. So see, it looks nice and even all the way across. Okay. So now we're ready to set the door. The door kind of slides over this channel, the wall jamb, and then it gets attached with screws. The strike channel goes right over this bar. Same concept, it just slides over this bar, and then it gets attached with three screws. Now the door is on, you have to adjust it. In closed position, measure this distance on top. It's supposed to measure even all the way across, because you can always tilt it this way or that way to make up that gap. And in closed position, make sure the edge of the glass is even with this little groove. It has to be even all the way down. When the strike side is all even and the door is all adjusted, go ahead on the inside and screw it in with 3 screws. On the bottom. So same thing on the strike side. There's 3 screws that you're supposed to screw in. Now this particular door has a magnet that slips on the edge of the glass, comes with a rubber gasket. So put the rubber gasket on first, close it, position it right where you need it, and then this magnet kind of slips right over it. Just get it over the gasket and gently pound it on the glass. Now make sure it lines up when you close it, so it clicks on that magnet. Rubber gasket access, you can just cut off with a utility blade or razor blade. On this door, on the bottom, there's water diverter. This rail right here and the rubber flop. You have to loosen all these screws, angle the rail down that way, so if any water goes down the door, gets caught in here, it's supposed to go down this channel and drain inside the shower pan. And also when you loosen all the screws, you need to pull this flop down so it kind of gets tight, creates a seal when it closes against this bottom curb. So loosen the screws, pull the rubber flop down, push down on this rail, make sure it angles down this way, and go ahead and tighten your screws. One more right here. So pull down on this and tighten the screw again. Now you want to close it and check it, make sure this rubber flop is tight against the bottom. If it's not, same thing, loosen the screws, adjust it up or down, however it needs to go. Everything's put together, everything's cleaned. Now we're going to seal it frame to tile, inside and out. And again, we're using clear silicone that's mold resistant. Now smooth it with a finger. This glass to glass, you have to run a bit of sealant. And this masking tape, just leave it alone or let it be for about 24 hours, and then you can peel it off when the silicone dries out. All right, and now we're all finished.